stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars. Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists will have to drift out here forever just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
You are going to paint this system red, my friend. Good. I need someone with an instinct for self-preservation. Working your way up to Provisioner? I can be reasonably sure you know how to add and subtract.
Ok. Yo subir body, strength, dexterity, subir todo aunque sea algo.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Él robó un cuerpo.
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Qué bien. Cerrado.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down. Skip drive.
Shit.
Antes que se vea los suspiros.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
Es verdad que no se mueve.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track
Ya
your
la tiene
progress.
subtítulos.
I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Ahorita no tenía subtítulos, ahorita era solamente escuchar y nada. A ver.
You've landed. Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it.
Welcome to
Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Esto todavía está agotado.
unforeseen side effects.
Caerte para allá.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stinks. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics. With guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders.
Yo estoy
See those
tranquilo,
canisters by
fíjate.
the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here
Solamente
and take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun.
¿Y tú cómo
I've got
estás?
some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
yo bajando el backlog como yo digo.
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down.
De vacaciones mucho trabajo en casa.
Be sure to stop by the provisioners for a can of our
Uno tiene
famous
vacaciones
salt
para hacer muchas cosas. Así que yo
and-
digo.
A Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with
Mi
Auntie
hermano
Cleo or
cogió, mi
something?
hermano me dijo que va a
Don't
coger
take
cuando
this the
viene
wrong
de
way,
vacaciones, va a hacer unas
Not
cosas en
allowed
casa de
friends
mami.
with Cleo
Obviamente, yo lo voy a
workers.
ayudar.
Company policy.
Esto es un Fallout, pero en versión 6.
Damn it, my ears!
¿Qué pasa estos días cuando te cae madeo? Pues gracias.
Can you hear me? What
Pues,
in the... This...
¿tú sabes qué puede ser la calor? La calor puede ser que te tiene así. Ya el límite está en el modo estándar. Oye, pensé. Pensé que están buenos. Y por primera vez digo que para que hace spam. Pero la Yubi no quiere llegar. Está demasiado. Vamos a volverse loco todo el mundo. Aquí en el picado. Aquí en los... Desparado, pero... Aquí en el poder. Estos los momentos de mucha calor son cuando yo estoy pensando que quizás quiero estar en el trabajo sin más tiempo. Ahí yo hice un turnito de 12, media a 11 y estuve tranquilo. Yo solamente salí para guardar el bulto de comida. Ya, lo que mala puntería tengo. Mala puntería. Yo voy con más. Palo de pan. Esto es Obsidian, esto no es Bethesda. Bethesda es experto en los bugs y los glitches. Aunque el juego sea viejo.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. You out of your mind? No way. Once we've dealt with these marauders, I'm hunting that sick freak down. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
Persuador 5. Vamos a ver si puedo
Well,
persuadirla.
sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis.
A mí me encanta. En Fallout yo siempre tenía el speech alto porque a mí me gustaba persuadirlos con las conversaciones. No era tenerlo solamente.
Here we go.
Don't look at perfect block. Enemy kill. Me encanta. Sí que sí, algo de eso, sí. I say. Yeah. Vamos a ver qué más. Te traigo de Skill del live. Yo no quiero ver. Quiero leerlo. Este me da este.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Smile for my surveillance device, Marauder. I am tracking your every move. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Carry.
I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact.
Le dije que se
Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable.
Sí, el capitán de...
Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
11. Develop. Bla bla bla. Diez puntos. Ah. That's... Yo no voy a usar 9. Select infrared. You got a new big anyway to level. Cada 2 levels, que sucio. Chapita segunda. No, no solo.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. I'll waive your fee since you helped us with those marauders. If you're looking for work, talk to the constable down in Edgewater. She's got a bounty on marauders. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Más repentino de estar probando más Skype por los updates más brutal. Yo no estaba pensando como todo el mundo que eran puro crafting y cosas así. No, no por otra vertiente.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see.
Típico. Típico de todo.
4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah? You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say... Those
Este juego con pasos son tan brutales, lo único, las gráficas de este juego son épicas. Sí, se nota rápido que... Acuérdate, Obsidian hizo Fallout New Vegas. Yo no juego Fallout New Vegas. Sincero. Pero yo he visto el juego. El feel es Fallout. Fallout, pero con cosas del espacio.
Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the 1. All my life.
A mí me gusta siempre tener en Fallout el speech alto. Como me pasó en Skyrim. En Skyrim tiene speech tan alto que yo me puse un skill que las mujeres que vendían me daban las cosas más baratas. Porque yo me di cuenta para más. Fíjate, no tanto más Effect. Más Fallout que Mass Effect. Es como una mezcla de Fallout con Mass Effect, pero Mass Effect yo lo encuentro bien diferente. Y como ya habían hecho Fallout New Vegas, pues ya están en la base, su base ya está hecha. No tienen que hacer mucho. encanta, a mí me gustan las Fallout, siempre me ha gustado. Siempre yo me ponía el speech alto. Siempre fue Borderlands. A mí me gusta Borderlands también. Borderlands a mí me gusta por las locuras de... Oh, mira, dice que es probar rápido. Ese es Fallout puro.
The grease monkey, Argo? Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival.
Y yo te voy a subir esta letra la profesora chiquita.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Yeah.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, we'll convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that
Yo el Fallout, depende cómo yo me sentía del mood de jugar en ciertas partes, yo siempre me iba con compañía.
Passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Pero siempre al principio yo me voy con companion porque después yo busco equipararme una forma que estoy tan poderoso. Y es cierto, en Fallout 4 yo tenía los compañeros que más me ayudaban.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. Alls I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you leap to the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? That seems well within your expertise.
The way we do it's by cutting off power to the others. The ones who left.
Adelaide McDevitt's encampment. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Estoy bien, estoy mucho más tranquilo. ¿Y tú cómo estás? ¿Y más?
Not if things are left to stand as they are.
Yo,
If you don't mind a bit of
cuando el entierro de papi yo estuve mucho más tranquilo, pero a mí también. Mi hermano y yo estábamos más como que para que mami estuviera más tranquila, nosotros estábamos mucho más tranquilos, pero nosotros lloramos un poco, no hicimos show, eso como algunos que se ponen a hacer show, que se están desmayando, cosas así. Yo siempre le he dicho que la persona que se pone a hacer show Son los cargos de
I
conciencia lo que
happen
lo
to
está
know such a
matando.
book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum.
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Ha sido tu día? Oye, tú, Kitty, yo vi, tú jugaste muy bien en todos los juegos, en todos los en vivo completo.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded
A veces uno ese barro estaba brutal.
corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Tantos quests que tú no sabes ni tienes muchos quests a la misma vez, rápido. Saltó una cana. Only source of protein. Igual que okay. Qué brutal se ve eso. Hace Saturno ahí. Como si fuera el audio a bolear. Mi hermano cuando estuvo en Alaska, una base, él fue y vio esto en Alaska.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Chao. Mira, mira. Diablo, si me tiro me caigo. ¿Qué mapa? Yo salí por el otro lado contrario, razón de ser. Yo pensé como si fueran parados. Subirme el speech antes de subirme las otras cosas. Hacer. Ya lo di una vuelta delicada. Salta en medio. Ya, porque ya se de Rambo ahí. Dale. Mucho ayudaste, mija. Que mucho ayudó a ella. Que- Ocho. Pasa como a veces que yo estoy, paso un montón de partes con una sola arma.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another. You want to try standing outside in the heat, keeping your sights open for the next Marauder raid? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if Marauders got to her. not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Hell's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Could do without the gallows humor. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
Ya está subiendo la temperatura, se siente un poquito más calmo.
She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. What is it?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But
Don't make
Adelaide will do just
fine. Miss
McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you.
Gracias.
I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks...
¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde me hablas?
You staying long?
Hello, todito.
You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Saludos. Qué lindo ese no. Es como Kenny.
Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, the peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Desde Marte, ¿y usted de dónde es? Desde Marte. Es Marte, hoy es domingo. No, yo soy de Puerto Rico.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our
Con los toditos.
Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
¿Y cómo me encontraste? ¿Buscando el juego o...?
I trust you will listen to your
¿Te gusta este juego? Este juego yo nunca lo había jugado. Friends. Seguir subiendo. Reflexes. Voy a echar eso. Apenas conoce este juego. Yo no lo había jugado. Yo es que tengo un backlog intenso. Un backlog intenso y cogí. Voy a dar a ciudad. Y lo que me estoy dedicando es cuando yo estoy haciendo stream, bajando el backlog.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off.
Y eso es lo que estoy haciendo, un listado
Zoe and I were gonna watch the serial.
de las cosas que quiero jugar, terminar.
I looked around, but she was nowhere to be
En mi
found.
poco tiempo, pues, dedico a
You sound
esto.
like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial.
Stefan Garcia.
Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market.
¿Tú has jugado Fallout?
Shame she up and vanished when she did.
Esto es un Fallout, pero con un skin de espacio.
The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can. Hey, I got time. Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Una gallina. Una gallina espacial. La música bien quiet, bien tranquila. Yeah. Así. Los animales y los rápidos. Bueno. Algo. Es Robert. Es por la parte más alta, pero bueno.
I've always wanted to poke around in here.
All beginning.
Here they come!
¿Cómo se cambia? ¿Cómo cambiar la arma? Necesito un ítem para poder hackear. Un ítem para hackear. No, vamos a los mercenarios. Ah, qué mala puntería. Qué mala puntería la mía. Para anterior, para que subir weapon. Estoy viendo Diablo 4. Yo quiero jugar. Pero yo sé que Diablo 4 me va a absorber un montón de tiempo.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Claro, tú tienes más mala puntería que yo. Mucho más mala puntería que yo.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
Unexpected.
Get ready!
No queda. Ah, me mató, es que no sé cómo cambiar la arma. Fuck. No sé cómo cambiarme el arma. Qué madre. Adentro, ¿verdad? Afuera. Yo no sé.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing. On my way.
Processing to investigate.
Mira, está de espalda. The companion again. Yo espero que vamos a ver settings. Control. Pues este juego es bueno, sí. Me está gustando. Lo único que no entiendo es cómo cambiar los controles cuando quiero cambiar la pistola. ¿Cómo tú estás? Bien, mejorando. Mejorando todo. Status. Status. Tengo armas de esta, pero no sé cómo vaya a hacerlo. Ya. Ya.
Three switches. That'll be easy enough.
Claro, tenemos son 36 balas. Qué chida. Ah, mira, me dan balas. Y no entiendo eso de 2 de 5, 27 de 25. Son los skills, me imagino. Yeah. Caralho, no hizo eso. Yep. Vale, pues probably let's see how
Just two more.
System
What'll happen to Miss Get ready!
investigating.
Yo quisiera saber cómo rayos cambiar la bala. Mira, le quito 2 puntos de vida a él. ¿Cómo yo me cambio la arma? Ah, con el tiempo. Me da un layout. Querido, vayan. Ahora, copy of them. Casi no se ven.
mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Unexpected gift.
Here they come! Down they go! That's the last of them.
Una bala como es. Allá, claro. Okay. Bueno. Bala.
If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
Unexpected noise identified. Performing an area sweep.
Oh, here they come!
Van a Floyd. Floyd together. That's not good. Why one?
not sure what the ride is. Alls I know is the decision's final.
Hasta insegura lo que.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
I see your point. I think I'm going to make this.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Voy a decir que Chávez. Tu reputación. Ya tú sabes. Recepcionista, me encanta. Estos son los fallos. Al correr. Ahora me quiero. Ahora unos gente me van a odiar, otros no. Plasma Core. No. Es como cuando yo estaba jugando la primera vez Fallout 3. Yo intenté ser bueno y llegó a un grado en que me puse neutral. Yo sé a la madre. Yo quería el compañero que era el más fuerte del juego. Y eso que no robaba y todo. De parcada, como tuve que bajar reputación, pues. Tengo casi balas. Yo no, este juego también estoy confunde. Confunde el hecho de cómo conseguir luchar el dinero y todo. Para la cuestión esa de convencer a la gente más fácil.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You killed my garden, destroyed my community, sentenced my flock to a lifetime of slavery in Edgewater for a power regulator.
Lo siento,
Well,
yo quiero irme de
I
aquí.
wish it was personal. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in
Quiero
the
jugar de las
canyon.
dos vertientes, a ver
Square
cómo
meals
hago.
for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Those are my terms. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town. Well, what I meant was you're reasonably well armed and don't look stricken with plague. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. Would you? I'd be grateful. I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I had one of those, I could go back to Reed and make a real case for myself. What's on your mind? Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you. Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed serious repairing yet. Nothing's broken down that we can't just replace with something scavenged from the outskirts. Well, not until the power went and cut out. Now everyone's giving me sidelong looks, expecting me to work some miracle and get the generator humming again.
Prepararme para ir a trabajar. O sea, para un nuevo que es Summit Tech. Hasta ahí en Dichanti por pasar un ratito. Ahí está. Ahí. Con mi plata.